Good morning. Good morning. How are you this morning? Hope you are well. I hope that it is not pouring with rain where you are. We've definitely got the Scottish weather kicked in now up here in Dalbeattie. Excuse my desk over there. I've got another project that I'm just about to start, so I'm messy. Yeah, normally I don't let you see that bit. No, well, it's fine. You can just put up with seeing it, can't you? So this morning, I wanted to talk about how to build unwavering self-confidence. So this is quite a complex subject area, but it impacts and affects so many women that I come across in terms of not only in terms of their business, but their lives as well, and holding themselves back from doing so many things that they really should be doing and want to do. Following their dreams, all of that, and it can sit down there, this lack of confidence in themselves. So I wanted to talk about that today because I think it's important to talk about it. And I think the more we talk about it, the better, because we're a little bit stiff upper lip in the UK, aren't we? Suck it up, get on with it, power through all of those messages. And that's where I want to start, because your lack of self-confidence, if this is something that you struggle with, is not your fault. It's been built for you. It's a generational hand-me-down. It's a societal hand-me-down. It's the words you heard when you were children, the words you heard when you were teenagers, as you were growing up, from adults around you, from peers, from people in positions of power. So starting to work on your self-confidence really starts with understanding why you feel like you do when it comes to doing anything, stepping outside your comfort zone, starting your business, investing in yourself, all of the things that your self-confidence will hold you back from doing. So understanding the root cause, it's the same with anything. It's like, I always think of everything that I talk about on here in terms of business strategy. If you can understand the root cause and peel that root cause back and understand where it came from and then how to fix it, it's easier to fix it. So I know, and I can only ever share the things that I know. I know from experience some of the words that were said to me when I was a child still sit with me today. And I'm 59. And I still remember some of the words that were said, the cruel words, the nasty words when I was a child. Today, they don't bother me. I'm very confident. I don't take any notice of them. But there were periods and possibly decades in my life where those things did hold me back from going all in, from being my full, outspoken, vibrant personality. I have sat in meetings knowing I wanted to speak and not put my hand up. I have sat with my peers, even in a senior position, and not offered my opinion, because those words that sat at the back of that I wasn't good enough, that why would anyone listen to me? I was the fat girl in the room, and why would anybody listen to somebody who has no control? I had lots of name calling when I was a child, and those things, that's what eats away at you. Those things, even if you don't realize that they do, and they impact your actions and they impact what you think you can do. You settle for less. That's the key, I suppose. You settle for less, and that's how not working on your self-confidence can affect you. So I think the first thing is to think about your inner critic and whose voice it is. This is something I always discuss when I'm talking about self-confidence. Who is it that's speaking to you when you hear these words that stop you doing what you want to do? So it could be a parent, it could be a teacher, a dancer. For my daughter, it was a dance teacher. Who is it? Whose words, whose voice do you hear? and replace that voice with a compassionate voice, with your voice of self-love. That's step one, really, to dealing with confidence, is think about who it is that's speaking to you. Setbacks and failures are a part of life. We're all going to have setbacks. We're all going to fail. But that should not stop you. It's your confidence in moving forward and getting past those setbacks that do stop you, particularly when you're in business. So when you start to work on your self-confidence, and I've got lots of courses that help with this, by the way, and I've shared the link for my Black Friday offers. I've not shared them on social media yet. So I've shared the link for my Black Friday offers above, where you can grab some of my courses at really deep cut prices. I've got 3 offers this year. So have a look at those, because actually, hi, Becky. Actually investing time in yourself is the first thing that you need to, second thing that you need to do once you've thought about your inner critic. So how do you turn off your thoughts? Answer that question to yourself. How do you meditate? Do you read? Do you do courses and learning and, improve your knowledge base? How do you switch off those inner thoughts, those thoughts that are going all the time? Now, I know what this is like. My daughter is ADHD, and she says it's like a constant record on repeat going in her brain. So if you're a neurodivergent, you've got ADHD, autism, your brain is wired differently, and it will loop messages again and again and again. And you, more than anybody, will have encountered people criticizing you along the way. You may be like on an electrical circuit. Absolutely, Becky. And it is like that, particularly for neurodivergent people. But for everybody, I think women in general, we are so capable of multitasking and serving so many different areas of life: children, husband, household, working. It's, that's part of the reason that your brain is on a loop with messages. And if in amongst that you are struggling with your self-confidence, then it's really important that you learn to be able to switch off those thoughts. And not only when you're asleep, because I bet you're lying in bed sometimes and it's still going on a loop in your head. So it's about practicing switching off the thoughts. Meditation is really, really good. Really good. Even 10 minutes a day is really good. But also practicing gratitude. And I don't just mean, everybody talks about gratitude these days like it's a thing. It is a thing. Sitting down and writing down 10 things that you're grateful for and sending love out to the world and accepting love in can be a beautiful daily practice that helps you to focus on the things that you have, that you've created, that you've generated, and that you are really grateful for. And it helps you build foundations to your self-confidence. One of the most powerful things, I've managed to turn it off over the years to think about. Yes, absolutely, Becky. Becky's putting comments in here. As you get older, it is easier. Age is a great thing. It enables you to not actually care about anything. But I'm talking to younger me here. That's what I'm talking to. And anybody that is younger than me, I'm talking to you, because I don't want you to be in your 50s before you get your self-confidence under control. You may look at other people and say, I wish I was as confident as them. I wish I was like that. I want you to understand the power of one word when it comes to self-confidence, and that's the word yet. I wish I was as confident as them. I'm not as confident as them yet. I have not built my business yet. Yet is a brilliant word. Where you are talking negatively to yourself, introduce the word yet. I haven't hit my sales targets yet. There are many, many steps still to take that you haven't taken yet. That does not mean you are a failure. It does not mean that you don't have the power to be confident enough to move forward in whatever it is you want to achieve in. So working on your self-confidence every single day. I love affirmations. I do mine every single morning. I know them off pat. I've been doing them for, like, when I say years, I mean probably over a decade now. The same affirmations. I am strong. I am powerful. I am well. Those are my basic first three affirmations every single day. Then I have money affirmations, Money comes easily and effortlessly to me from multiple different sources. I live a wealthy and abundant life. So affirmations become then part of the neurological loop that you can build to replace the negative things or the stressful things that are going on in your brain right now. Becky says she's been teaching a grandson to do them and he's 9. Absolutely. My kids do them. It's such an important part of reprogramming your brain, your supercomputer. The next thing that I'd like you to think about is your circle of support, your network. Have you got people in there that lift you up? Are you surrounded by people who love you for what you are, that will not criticize you, that will want you to succeed, where there's no jealousy, there's no envy? These people just get you. If you've got people that are not like that in your network, I'm going to give you a really good bit of advice now from a 59-year-old. Bin them. Even if they're family, cut ties. Don't see them. See them at family events and take that negative voice, their negative voice, out of your life because it's not helping you. Words stick with us far more than actions sometimes. Words can sit with you for a lifetime. I remember my mum, and my mum is now 80, and she once said to me that she remembered when she was a little girl, a lady in the toilets telling her that she was very plain. And that sat with her for a whole life. She never felt like she was pretty or enough because somebody had called her plain when she was a little girl. She's now 80. Still remembers that. So words are powerful. And if you've had negative words in your life, they can sit with you for a lifetime. Here's a great little bit of advice for you as well. Identify your pet peeve. What really gets on your nerve more than anything else? What really irritates you? What's your pet peeve? And get rid of it. Get rid of it. It's not you that's doing it. Then look at the person that is. But remove it. Things that irritate you, if you take them out of your life, I mean, obviously, if your kids irritate you, you can't go and drop them off somewhere and leave them. If it's the husband, you can have adult conversations. And this is important to build your confidence, because sitting around a table with your family saying, look, I'm working on this, I'm building a business, or I'm working on my self-confidence, and I really need your help. And these are some of the things that actually have an impact on my confidence. This is what I said. This is what I said right at the start. It needs to be talked about. We suck it up. We have this stiff upper lip. We hold it inside us, the emotions and the impact of people's behavior. We hold it inside us, and it bubbles like a horrible cauldron of awful poison inside us, and it impacts our self-confidence, our behaviors, and our actions. Have you ever found yourself shouting at the kids, sounding like a fishwife? And that's not really you, but you've done it not because the kids are that bad, but because you're not feeling great inside, and they're irritating you because there's so many things around you that are irritating you. And you're bottling all this stuff up because you think you're the only person who feels like that. You're on your own. Well, you're not. You're not. So many people feel like that. And I think the biggest thing to have in terms of building confidence on an ongoing basis is to have a purpose. I'm a great believer, this if you've watched me in, creating vision, my vision board and my mind map. I'm looking at them now while I'm speaking to you. What is your purpose? What are you here to do? If your purpose is to become a famous author, write that book. Don't listen to what anybody else says. Just write it. Let it flow. If your purpose is to be a great artist, be a great artist. Step into that persona and have confidence that you can do that. If your purpose in life is to bring other people together and help them, do that. That's my purpose, to help women to build strong businesses where they can make money and support themselves. That's my purpose in life. So think about what is your ultimate purpose for being here. And if your purpose is to be a great mum, that's a fantastic purpose, to help young people to participate in society. That's as great a purpose as anybody's is. So your purpose is great if it's important to you. And if you're in business and your purpose is to create a business that secures you a predictable and consistent income in your life, so that you can give up your job, or so that you can support your family, or so you can take your kids on holiday, all those things are great purposes. It's about understanding what it is you stand for, who you are and what it is you stand for, and allowing yourself to be able to do that thing. So self-confidence is like building blocks. It starts with identifying that inner critic and working your way through all those different areas in order to change the way you feel, because it's how you feel that stops you from doing the things you want to do. And only you have the responsibility to do that. Nobody else is going to come along and help you. You may be able to go and get some coaching, but ultimately, even if you're working with a coach, you're responsible for taking action. You're responsible for what you do from that session with the coach. If you sign up for a course, you're responsible for doing the work, actually doing it. You are responsible for everything. And actually, you're never alone. And I think that's the big thing. So remember the power of yet. Build a network that serves you. Identify that inner critic. Speak nicely to yourself. Put a more gentle, passionate voice, compassionate voice in place of that inner critic. And think about all those things I've said. I'm going to point you again to my Black Friday offers. Go and have a look at them. I'm not even going to tell you what they are. Just go and have a look. I've got 3, a bronze, silver, and gold offer this Black Friday. We've only just started putting them out. Went out on email yesterday. I've got the link in this live today. That's all I'm going to say. If you want to help yourself, there's some tools there to help you. I will see you next week. I'd love your comments. Thank you, Becky, for participating today. It's great to have you on here. I'd love your comments on this. How are you feeling? Get in my inbox if you're really struggling, and let's have a virtual chat. But don't think you're on your own. Don't sit there struggling, because you're worth more than that. I will see you next Tuesday at the same time. Have an absolutely awesome week. Do all the things that you dream of. And life's good. Enjoy it. See you next week.